everyone, and welcome to this video. And as you can tell by the title, this is my top 20 favorite movies. I'm going to be splitting this into two different types. It's my top 10 favorite Disney movies, or ones that were on the Disney or Family Channel movies, and also my top 10 all-time other movies that weren't on Disney Channel or anything like that. So let's get on with it. First, we're going to be doing my top 10 Disney movies. For number 10 on my top 10 Disney movies is Brave. I love this movie mainly because she is a natural redhead, and she is one of the most crazy and out there and outgoing people I've ever seen on a Disney movie, like as a Disney princess. And she's not one of your typical Disney princesses either. She doesn't need a guy to save her. She does what she wants. She proves her self-worth and all that. I love it. It's who I imagine I would be. And as being part of a ginger, because I have it on both sides of my family, hey, it works for me. Number 9 is Tarzan. I love Tarzan because it shows a guy raised by a different type of people, which is the gorillas. Like, perfect metaphor showing how he came to be a human, being a part of a gorilla family, and finding a love. Beautiful. Number 8 is the Hannah Montana the movie. This was on Disney Channel. I loved it so much because I grew up loving Hannah Montana, and when I seen this movie come out, and in the movie she pulls her wig off and shows where she's from, like who she is, I loved it. I loved the concept of the movie, of it, and her coming to realize who she is again, and knowing that she doesn't need to hide behind this wig anymore. And number 7 is Zombies. On Disney Channel or Family Channel, I don't know which one. It's on one of those channels. The movie Zombies came out. It's of a community being half taken over by zombies. So they put a border in there. There's one world of zombies, one world of regular people. And the zombies are then allowed to go into the school with the humans, and they come to basically show the real world that zombies can live with the humans no matter what, which is I love it. I like the kind of concepts they come up for these kind of movies. Number 6 is Status Update. I love Status Update because we have Ross Lynch, Olivia Holt, and it's also like a musical type thing, which I love. And they had like a beautiful song at in the close to the beginning of it, which was Bruno Mars' "Locked Out of Heaven." Love the song. And at the end of it, they have a song. I'm not sure if Olivia Holt made it or not, or if someone made it for the movie, but I love it. Drowning, beautiful song, I will say. Number 5 is Lilo and Stitch. When I was little, I used to watch Lilo and Stitch all the time when I could. And then when I started dating my boyfriend, I found out his favorite character, Disney character, is Stitch. Like I love Lilo and Stitch. Finding out his favorite character is Stitch, that just worked out perfectly for me. So my plan now is to get a big Stitch taker, just to commemorate one of my favorite movies. Also his favorite character. Number 4 is Lion King. One of my all-time favorite movies. That's not a Disney princess movie. Lion King, because my favorite character in Disney is Simba. I've always loved Simba. He is a natural born leader that loses his way when he's a young cub, and then sees his father's figure in the sky, and then comes back, takes over Pride Lands, and becomes king, where he's meant to be. Number 3 is Moana. one of my all-time favorites because, one, is not a typical Disney princess who is saved by a guy. Two, it has Dwayne Johnson in it, like The Rock. Like, come on. Like, and he can sing? That makes it better. And three, she's taking the world on. She's showing her gift and what she can do with her gift and save the world. Number 2 is Pocahontas. I love Pocahontas, as you can tell by I have long hair. When I was little, I used to watch Pocahontas in Milan all the time on VHS. And I will say, Pocahontas is one of my all-time favorite Disney movies. One of my all-time favorite movies, for life. Because I always wanted to be as outgoing as her and show who I truly am. Because she is my all-time favorite Disney princess. She's not a typical princess who'd be saved. She saves the natives from being shot down by the England or whoever they are. I forget who they are. The white men. And I've always loved how long her hair was, and I've always wanted her hair since I was very young. I've wanted the length of her hair. It's beautiful. And now, my number 1 favorite Disney movie is Milan. Milan is one of those movies where it's taking place in a real life event, the Chinese War. Milan goes in place of her dad's spot. That is just... She's being very stupid about it. But she's showing her courage to her dad. And now on to my top 10 other favorite movies. So, number 10 is Chucky, because it's not my all-time favorite movie for other movies. Chucky is one of my favorite horror kind of films. Don't have that many of them, but Chucky is one. I've loved every Chucky movie they ever came out with. I've watched all of them. And they are amazing, but they do creep you out when you watch them when you're 10 years old. Number 9 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I've watched both Texas Chainsaw Massacres. I watched one back when I was younger. And then I watched a 2013 one that was in 3D. And I watched it in theaters in 3D. And it was amazing, yet terrifying. I watched it when I was 16. Number 8 is My Neighbor Totoro. I love the My Neighbor Totoro kind of movies by, I forget. But I loved those movies, like My Neighbor Totoro, Ponyo, those are kind of movies. But My Neighbor Totoro is my favorite one out of that genre. And it's really nice to see another kind of culture come out with a beautiful kind of movie for this kind of stuff. And it shows you the different kind of things you can do for it. It shows an animated concept on something. How am I going to explain this? I find it hard to explain My Neighbor Totoro. But it's a beautiful movie. I love it to pieces. Number 7 is Mamma Mia. Okay, if you have seen Mamma Mia and says you don't like it, F you. Mamma Mia is one of the most all-time favorite musical movies that's not a Disney movie, because it's a beautiful movie of how a girl that's getting married is trying to find her father's, figure out which one of the 3 is her father, and then in the end, not even knowing. And her mom just marries one of them, and she don't marry her husband, or fiance. Number 6 is Sailor Moon movie. I've watched this about 100 times. I love this movie. It's about Sailor Moon. Also, I can't say her name in Japanese, but she is Princess Serenity. They go up to the moon, find out that the world is being taken over, and when they're hurling back to Earth, she uses all of her power that's in her moon crystal that's always right here on her. She uses that along with all of the other Sailor Guardians, the other 4 Sailor Guardians behind her, using their power, and then they have Tuxedo Mask holding onto her hands, helping her control her power with the crystal, so they can slow down them hurling toward the earth. And it is beautiful. I love the sign that plays over that part. I used to have that video on my phone, but I don't anymore, which I miss. But it was so beautiful, and I loved it so much. Number 5 is Land Before Time. I know there's a whole variety of these movies, like different ones, but I use just Land Before Time because I love Land Before Time. My old roommate Kim vouched for me. I used to try to find them all the time on Google to watch, or YouTube, and just watch videos of Land Before Time all the time. And then I ended up getting DVD after DVD, and I have 3 DVDs of the same exact Land Before Time. The very first Land Before Time that ever came out. Like the original one is the one I have 3 copies of, apparently. Number 4 is Raise Your Voice. I love this movie because it is a Hilary Duff movie. I love Hilary Duff. And it's also a concept of the girl goes to a concert with her brother. On the way back, they get in a car crash. Her brother dies. She lives. And then she overcomes her fear of singing on stage in front of a bright light. Because whenever she sees a bright light, she just sees her brother. She just sees what the someone coming directly towards them, hitting them. And that's all she sees is that light coming towards her. And it's beautiful how she overcomes it. And every time she sees that light, like at the very end of it, she sees the light and she just sees her brother behind the light watching her. And it's beautiful how she just overcomes it. Number 3 is Pokemon 2000. This is my favorite movie because when I was younger, me and my brothers, we had this one on VHS. And we watched it so many times. And then when I seen I could get 3 movies in a pack, I got them. I have watched the Pokemon 2000 a good dozen times because it's probably my all-time favorite one to watch. Also, ignore the sound you hear. That's my cat being a pain in the arse. Number 2 is The Gipper. I've loved The Gipper because it's basically a guy, the new receiver, finding out that he is going to see everything that the world used to be before this medication. Before all these people have been getting this medication in the morning and being took over by the world. Being took over. You get to see this. And then he basically drives himself insane, and so he rescues whoever the next receiver after him supposed to be, which is a little baby. He takes him from where he is to, takes him and brings him over the edge, which is just over the edge of a cliff, into the world still. And when they go over the edge, he just keeps on going until he gets to the rocks. And when he passes the rocks, whenever the receiver or the giver passes those rocks, the world goes back to the way it should be, with color, with sound, with music, with dance, with laughter and play, doing whatever you want to do. It's beautiful and gorgeous. And now, for my all-time number one movie is The Greatest Showman. I love this movie. So does my boyfriend. Me and him actually bond on this so much. We both love this movie so much. I love it a lot too. As you can tell, I keep saying that. I keep rambling about that one thing. But yes, we love it. I love it that this guy, as a little kid, had nothing. He grew up to marry this really beautiful rich woman. And then he ends up being the owner of a circus. The circus burnt down. He had to rebuild from nothing. So they just got a tent. He made some mistakes in between. Everyone makes mistakes in their life. It's the way of living. And it's who we are. But yes, that is my top 20 all-time favorite movies. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe on my social media links and description box below. Follow me on those. And don't forget to subscribe to both my channels, main channel and vlog channel. And check out my last main channel video and my last vlog. And I will see you all next time with another video. Peace out, everyone.